This video is part of the series on the Control101 MATLAB toolbox. We're now going to focus on some DC servo based app files. Some background and context then. So the community's agreed on an outline structure for a Control101 course, and this toolbox has been developed to support such a course, largely because MATLAB tools allow good visualization and support the sort of number crunching that you are likely to need. This particular video is going to focus on DC servos or motors because this is a very common component in engineering and therefore engineering students should be familiar with them. Some context then. Motors and servos are very common and so students need to explore both their behaviours and the control of those behaviours. The toolbox has got two apps which are based on DC servos. The first one focuses primarily on motor control problems, so position and velocity. The second deploys a motor actually as part of a wider and more challenging application, an inverted pendulum, and is more focused on the associated feedback and control aspects. What about some modelling then, just to give you a bit of context? So a simple DC servo model has an armature, which creates a back EMF, E equals kW, and a torque equals Ki, I being the current, and omega or W being the angular velocity of the armature. If you do a voltage balance, you get something like V equals IR plus E. And then if you do a mechanical torque balance, you get something like torque equals J times d omega dt plus B omega, where B is a friction term. Now, if you combine all these equations together, you will end up with a first order model, and there's more details in the manual. If you allow for a flexible shaft or for inductance in the electrical circuit and other aspects, then this simple model may extend to become second order or indeed even higher order. So users can explore that through the manual. First app then, DC servo position and speed control. So a DC servo may be used to move something to a specified position, for example a printer. Conversely, it may also be used to bring something to a specified velocity, and an example there could be a fan. This app allows the user to explore the impact of core parameter changes on the open loop behavior of the servo and the feedback design for both position and velocity control. So the circular motion or the velocity control is showing through a picture a bit like this, so somebody going around a circle. And position control is shown using a linear track, so you can see the difference visually. And as ever, there are manuals to support the apps, so if you want to look at some of the underlying assumptions and mathematics, they're in the app, as well as some code to allow you to explore certain issues, if you would like. The manual is always opened automatically when you open the app. So a live demonstration then. So let's start by looking at this basic servo app. So here it is. Oops, my screen's playing up. Okay, so what you can do is you can start with open loop behavior. And all that will happen here is it will basically look at what you've got for the load inertia, the torque constant, that's this K parameter, a gear ratio, friction, and it will say, how do we behave? Okay, so you can see basically you've got circular motion here. The person gets to a particular speed. Okay, now what would happen if I change the load inertia, for example? And let's simulate again. And what you'll see is they're going to get to the same speed, but they get there somewhat more slowly. You might say, well, what happens if I change the gear ratio and simulate? What's the impact of that? And again, you can see the impact is here. So it's not the purpose of this video to go through all of the possibilities. The idea is that you can see, you can do open loop behavior analysis, and you've got these sliders to play around with the parameters. So what if you want to control velocity? Okay, so I've got my PI compensator here. So let's simulate and see, is that doing the job? Now the green lines are now acting as the target, so the idea is that you get the person going at the same velocity as those green lines. So then you know that your PI's doing the job. I should perhaps have refreshed before I did that. And you basically can play around with your PI design and ask the question, have you got a good answer or not? Okay, so I'm not going to dwell on that. That's obviously for you to explore in your own time. And finally, you can do something like position control. So this one will only use proportional. I'm not going to go into why, because that's covered in the manual. So again, you can explore, how do I design a compensator to get position control for a DC servo? Now you can introduce some transient friction. So if we do this and see what happens, okay, you'll see that you've got a slightly different behaviour because of that friction term. And again, if you want to understand exactly how that friction is introduced, have a look in the manual. Okay, so we skipped one there. So inverted pendulum control. The inverted pendulum app focuses on a realistic control issues that may often be forgotten if you're doing simple paper and pen analysis. So what's the impact of lag between the control decision, which often we assume is instantaneous, and the actual actuation? So the control decision in the C of X blocks, but the input going into the system may be lagged somewhat for various reasons. What's the impact of that? And also, it's interesting to ask yourself, what if you had a human inside the control loop, which is going to add both a delay and a lag? And so we explore the impact of a human in the loop through this app. Okay, so if we bring the app in, here it is, and you can see we've given you a default compensator. You can change K, but nothing else. We're not going to allow you to change that 3 and the 10 because we're trying to keep it moderately simple. And you can change the motor lag parameters. So we want to investigate what's the impact of that lag. So if I simulate, and you can see, does it successfully stabilize this inverted pendulum? And you might look at that and say, yeah, I'm broadly happy with that. Okay, so what would happen now, is it still going, if you change the lag? So I've made a change on the lag, and let's see what happens now. And what you'll see is that it's not quite as good. Okay, you see there's a bit more oscillation in this particular case. All right, so basically you can explore both the change of this parameter K and the change of this lag parameter and see how it affects behavior. The time responses are saved in the bottom left here. Okay, now what if you think, oh, I've got a human in the loop. So I click this button and now we've got a human. So you see this big hand to show you've got a human. The human at the moment, I've got no delay and there's a lag associated with the human. So let's simulate and see what happens. Okay, and you can see it's still broadly working. It's not quite as good as you had before. Okay, you'll see in the bottom left curve it's not quite as good. And then what we're going to do, of course, when that simulation is finished, we're going to add a bit of delay. So I'll add a tiny delay, 0.02 seconds, it's quite fast, and see what happens. And now you see the behaviour's getting much worse. So hopefully you get the idea that you can explore the impact of these real factors on the efficacy of your control loop. Oops, we've skipped one again. So conclusions. We've demonstrated how to run and use the DC servo apps in the Control101 toolbox. And you can use these in lectures if you want, or students can use them at home as they please. They can also be used to support pre and post lab activities related to a DC servo or motor equipment. And the manuals contain some source MATLAB code so that students can actually write their own code for their own particular problems that they may come across in lectures or assignments.